Here, along with men's basketball coach Jeremiah Samarrippas, we talked about the preseason going into the year of 2023 and 24. And coach, you're coming off an Elite Eight season last year. We lost two players to graduation. I know there's a lot of high expectations floating around campus. You're coming off another Elite Eight season. I know it's kind of hard to kind of keep those expectations down, but this team looks like they're ready to rock and roll again.
Yeah, we have a lot of returners from last year. We're hoping that we can use our experience from playing in the Elite Eight, winning a regional tournament, winning a regular season championship in the SAC to our advantage, and go and get more this year. So I'm excited to see, how this group responds after going to the Elite Eight and losing in the Elite Eight. Can we build on that? Can we take the next step as a group and really push forward our expectations here, which, is to win a national championship?
We're going to talk about the upcoming schedule in just a second here, but we got to talk about some of those returners. Your guards, I know that we talk about just like groups and different things. Your guards, you've got four that are coming back. I think of Chase, I think of Mikkel, Bart, even there was one more. Sales is in there. When you look at your four guards really coming back, that's got to be something you're excited about.
Yeah, starting with Chase, led the country in assists last year, coming back for his 6th year. Really excited to have him back. He'll be, the best point guard in the country. Mikkel, the way he can put the ball in the basket, he's back another year. Sells, his shooting ability, his scoring ability, his IQ, his feel for the game. And then Bart, he just makes a lot of winning plays for us. So to have those four guys back in a time where, a lot of players like to leave and transfer year to year, we're very fortunate that they decided to stay here and take on the challenge of taking the next step with this group.
You get four good guards like that, and you've got two big guys on the inside. And unfortunately, you can't play six at one time, but you have two on the inside of Walters and Martez Brown that are coming back that will really help on the rebounding side and kind of giving some room for those guards.
Yeah, Tez, double-double machine. I think he averaged, 9 points and almost 9 rebounds a game last year. Expect him to have a big year and to take another jump. Every year with him, he's gotten better. So expect the same this year for his final year with us, and we want to send him out the right way. And then Jordan Walters, Swiss Army knife, can do a little bit of everything on the floor, can shoot the ball, can get to the rim off the bounce, can score in the post and dominate mismatches. Both of those guys, would be important pieces for us this year.
I know you have a lot of newcomers coming in. We'll kind of leave those a little bit of a secret for the opposing teams, and because I know if they're going to watch this video, they're going to want to know what LMU is all about. But let's talk about this schedule. You're going to start off in the Lone Star State. You've got Lubbock Christian down at one of the Invitational Classics down in Texas.
Yeah, very excited to play those 2 exempt games before the rest of the country is starting out the following week. Very lucky to get the invite to play in it. There's only 6 teams that are playing in this event in Lubbock, Texas. We start out with the home team. Be their first home game. I'm expecting a packed crowd. You get a top 5, top 10 team coming in to play at home, your first game. So they'll be pumped to play us. It's an opponent that we usually don't get to play unless, we see them at the Elite Eight. So we're excited for the challenge, with them. And they're also a program that's had a lot of success. They made the NCAA tournament last year. Historically, the last 3 or 4 years, they've won 70% of their games. Really well coached. It'll be a challenge from the jump. We don't have any time to work our way into the season. We got to be ready to go from the jump. Even our next game, playing Illinois Springfield, I think they were ranked 8th in the region headed into the conference tournament last year, and they lose in the quarterfinals, so they don't make the NCAA tournament. But I definitely think they're a team who has everybody coming back on their roster, and they're going to be really good. And I think there'll be an NCAA tournament team this year as well. So.
You come back from the state of Texas. You get to come home. We have UNC Pembroke for the home opener. This is a team out of the Conference Carolinas competing for conference titles every year over there. They're probably one of the top teams along with us and a few others that are always competing not only to be in the regional but to potentially host the regional.
Yeah, and they finished in the top 10 in the country. And, again, there's no time to waste with our schedule this year. I intentionally made our non-conference very hard with all 9 games. I think we have 6 teams that played in the NCAA tournament last year, not including Springfield, who I said I think is going to be really good. But Pembroke is a big physical team. Drew does a really good job with them. They've got transfers. They've got returners. They'll come in and be ready to give us their best shot, and we expect nothing less, playing at LMU.
First 3 games are down. Now let's go into the rest of the schedule. You're at Alabama Huntsville, at West Alabama, and at King before you're back home for Winston-Salem State. You talked about scheduling hard. That's definitely going to get your team ready for SAC play.
Yeah, Huntsville, a team that beat us last year. They lost in the Sweet 16 last year, so another NCAA tournament team going to their place, playing them at home, another probably crazy environment, and a test for our guys. Mentally, we've got to be ready to go. All of the road games, no matter who you're playing, are difficult, but you're going to play another top 25 team that beat us last year. Our guys should be ready to go for that game, and it'll be a good test for us. We'll go in and figure out what we're made of. And then, 2 days later, we travel to West Alabama, who finished in the top 2 in their league, was also an NCAA tournament team. And that's another difficult place to play. I think they won 28 games last year to 28-6. So we played the top 2 teams in the Gulf South back-to-back on the road. So, really, really challenging schedule. Go to King, another in-state opponent. We'll go and play there. It'll be a difficult game on the road. And then we've come back home and play Winston-Salem State, who made the NCAA tournament last year, lost to IUP, who is a top 5 ranked team in the country in Division II last year. They lose by 2 points in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So, again, there's no time to relax with us. We've got to be ready to go from the jump.
Our SAC opener is Newberry. That'll be a December 2nd game. A little bit different this year. We were in divisional play last year in the conference. This year we're going to go back to the more traditional kind of play. Which way do you kind of feel? Because we did divisional for 1 year. Do you prefer the divisional play that we had last year, kind of back to the way we're doing it?
No, I like back where we're at now. I want to outright champ. I don't want to share a regular season with anybody. So I like the fact that we're back playing that total. We're playing 20 games. It'd be nice to have a chance to play everybody and, even it out as much as we can. So the SAC is always difficult. Last year, us and Catawba made the tournament. I expect our conference to be a little bit better this year. Expect a lot of teams to be really competitive and, again, give us their best shot. So, starting out SAC play with Newberry, again, not a lot of time to waste. They'll be ready to go. Jason Taylor does a really good job. His teams are really well coached, and they play really hard.
When you take a look around the SAC, South Atlantic Conference, you mentioned Catawba. It's really kind of top to bottom. This conference has really improved over the last couple of years to where there's not a quote-unquote gimme game anymore. You have to know you got to bring your A game every time you hit the floor, home or away. Yeah,
no doubt, and especially for who we are and what we've done as a program, the tradition of excellence here and our success that we've had with winning the league. So everybody wants to beat us. You see when we do lose a game, which, we're not perfect, when we take everybody's best shot, you'll see the team storm the floor, and it's the biggest win of the year. And, our guys take pride in taking everybody's best shot game to game and not, having those floor storming opportunities. So we've got some revenge on our mind this year for a couple teams that beat us last year. So we'll be locked in, and our guys will be ready to go for SAC play.
Touch on a couple more of the non-conference games here. You got North Georgia on December 19th and then Lees-McRae on December 30th. Again, going back to it, here's North Georgia, and they're going to come to our place in late December.
Correct. And the Peach Belt, they got 4 teams into the regional tournament last year. I think we played all 3 Peach Belt teams in the regional tournament, playing Lander, then North Georgia in the second round, and Aiken in the regional championship. So that conference is really good, and they've had a lot of success. And North Georgia is no different. They'll be one of the top teams in the country. They'll be top 25, champion, the reigning player of the year for the region and in their conference. He's difficult to guard, and, I'm dreading, thinking about how we're going to prepare for him. And their coach does a really good job. They're really well coached. They play hard. They defend. They've also got the reigning freshman of the year in the league. They've got everybody back, and they had a chance to get experience in the NCAA tournament last year playing us, and we were able to play them twice last year and beat them both times. So I know they'll be pumped up, and they have that game circled on their calendar for next year. But it'll be a really good test for us to play a team like that, an NCAA tournament level team at home to go before we go to Christmas break. So again, just loaded the non-conference schedule for our team, and we're ready for the challenge.
How excited are you now that basketball season's now on the horizon? We're sitting here talking about men's basketball, and it's getting close.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Our guys too, they're foaming out the mouth right now. They are tired of playing pickup against each other. They want to play somebody different, but we can't skip any steps. We're going at it every day, over and over, coming in with a level head. Not getting too high, not getting too low, bringing the same effort, bringing the same mentality. Just trying to sharpen all of our habits right now. We've got to build these habits now, because at this time of the year, if you're working your hardest, if you're coming together as a team, if you're becoming more connected, this time of the year is really where you figure out what type of team you have. It's not when we play Lubbock Christian on November 3rd. It's right now. How are we preparing, because everybody's going to be ready when it's game time, right? But if you can do the things headed into that first game on a day-to-day basis at a really high level, then when you get there, the game should be easy, So we're just trying to take it day by day, try to get better as a group, try to figure out what our ceiling is as a team, and then how can we reach that ceiling? How can I do a good job to put our players in position to be successful? And can we be connected? Last year's group winning a regional tournament, there was a lot of talented teams there, but I felt like we were the most connected team there, and I think that matters when you're headed into the NCAA tournament.
Coach, it's going to be on top of us before we realize it. Good luck this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, head coach Jeremiah Samarrippas. Again, the season starts November 3rd on the road at Lubbock Christian out in Lubbock, Texas.